All right, well, good morning everyone, and thank you for coming to the launch of my local campaign platform here for Peterborough. I wanted to start by emphasizing what it is that my party stands for, what it is that we're fighting for in this election, and what Here for Canada is all about. Here for Canada focuses on 5 key priorities. To begin with, creating jobs through training, trade, and low taxes, supporting families through our family tax cut and more support for seniors and caregivers. Third, eliminating the deficit by 2014-2015 by controlling spending and cutting government waste. 4, making our streets safe through new laws to protect children and the elderly. 5, standing on guard for Canada by investing in the development of Canada's north, cracking down on human smuggling, and strengthening the Canadian Armed Forces. Here for Canada is built around the principle that a country and any individual, in fact, can only give from a position of strength. You cannot give from a position of weakness. All the things that we as Canadians value, whether it's healthcare, post-secondary education, looking after our seniors, looking after each other, or building stronger communities, all of these things require a strong economy, a strong jobs market, and strong private sector investment. That's what our government is focusing on, and I'm pleased to support the Here for Canada platform. Locally, I think it's important that we also have a local vision. I've been working since 2006 under a philosophy that I've deemed active representation. I think there are obviously there are 308 members of Parliament in Canada. All of them have their own style. I refer to how many of them conduct their jobs as passive representation. They have a constituency office, they assist their citizens with federal government services, they represent them in Ottawa, they take part in committees, and they reflect what's going on in Ottawa back to their constituents. Active representation is quite different. It involves all of those things, but it involves a whole lot more. It involves being a part of the community. It involves making your community a better place to live. It involves leveraging all of the abilities and all of the strength that you can pull together from your office in support of other community initiatives. Under my Here for Peterborough platform, to begin with, I want to make it very clear. I will unconditionally support the Shining Waters Railway Initiative. I will support the professional board that has been working diligently since October and ensure that passenger trains are running as planned by July 1st, 2014. There have been many accomplishments made by the Shining Waters Railway Board since its establishment only a few short months ago. To begin with, it has become incorporated and is applied for charitable status. It has entered into a non-disclosure agreement with CP Rail and have received a draft MOU from CP. They have completed a vision and planning report titled This Train Means Business, which forms the foundation of the Shining Waters Railway Plan. They have engaged railway construction firms and have reconfirmed infrastructure investment is well within the allotted budget. They have received federal funding and approval from the regional community futures development corporations and their professional boards, as well as FedDev Ontario to produce an economic impact study for a review, an economic impact study, and for a review of the business plan. Delcan, a firm with specific expertise in this area, has been contracted and is completing the economic impact study. They are a firm that is located in Markham, and BDO's specific experts with railway expertise are in fact reviewing the business plan. Initial information provided by both is incredibly positive. And lastly, they have sought and received quotes for design engineering and made specific requests at both levels of government to release funds. Federal approval of the release of these funds and to move forward immediately with design engineering can be found on page 93 of Budget 2011, a document that all opposition parties, and I stress this, all opposition parties insist they will oppose. Second, and this will be the key point of my focus with respect to fundraising in the future here in Peterborough. I think a big part of what I've done is leverage the strength of my office to try and help those less fortunate in our community. And under that initiative, I will be forming what I've called the Good Samaritan Hands Up Foundation. I think we need to review what a Good Samaritan is and where that is based. We know the parable of the Good Samaritan, where a Jewish traveler is beaten, robbed, and left half dead along the road. First a priest, then a Levite come by. Both avoid the man. Finally, a Samaritan comes by. Samaritans and Jews generally despised each other, but the Samaritan helps the injured Jew. The parable has inspired painting, sculpture, poetry, and film. The colloquial phrase, Good Samaritan, meaning someone who helps a stranger, derived from this parable, has been the inspiration behind many charities. Our Good Samaritan Hands Up Foundation will seek to help our neighbors, and it will reflect the values of love thy neighbor. In keeping with this principle, I will be directing a significant portion of my future fundraising activity towards helping our neighbors. Specifically, the foundation will focus on assisting youth at risk to follow a positive path, but it will also support retraining and reskilling of persons that have found themselves trapped at the bottom rung of the workforce that are looking to improve themselves and improve their family outcomes. I will form a board that includes representatives of Fleming College and Trent University, Church in the City, the Bridge Youth Center, the Mayor, the County Warden, the Chiefs of Curve Lake and Hiawatha First Nation, as well as representatives from both regional chambers of commerce. The goal will be to support the hiring, training, and education of at least 500 people per year, and the fundraising target for the first year will be $200,000. All of these supports will be provided in addition or on top of any federal or provincial government programs that seek to support the same outcomes. Third, I will continue with my focus on specific projects, fundraising, and support. Since 2006, my office has been very active in organizing private fundraising and donations in support of specific projects while promoting our community and its tremendous heart and soul in the process. Specific examples include the refurbishment of the Sabre jet at the zoo on behalf of the Royal Canadian Air Force 428 Wing. That was a project that was valued at well in excess of $90,000 that was completed on behalf of the Royal Canadian Air Force at no cost to the wing at all. We've also supported a new college bursary established and supported by the Peterborough Remembers Gala in memory of our local fallen heroes, as well as fundraising support of a multitude of worthy local causes. I intend to step this up. Specifically, I will create a new local celebrity pro-am fishing derby and golf tournament that will be coordinated with local organizations like the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters and hosted at area lakes and golf courses in the riding. In keeping with other initiatives that I've undertaken to fundraise in the community, this event will promote the community while raising money. If we look at the United Way Hockey Challenge, one of the goals in the United Way Hockey Challenge is to bring people in from outside the community and to promote Peterborough, promote the identity of Peterborough, the electric city, as one of Canada's great sports cities, but also one of Canada's great cities that cares about each other. This event will do the same. The first major project to be supported by this initiative will be to fund a replacement bridge for the Peterborough Naval Association that will allow for greater accessibility for our veterans and citizens attending events at their location. Until the election was called, I was working on funding for this project from my government's Enabling Accessibility Fund, but due to requirements from both an accessibility standpoint as well as Parks Canada, the bridge must be replaced in the near term. Second will be to support new recreational facilities and activities in communities throughout the riding, with a specific priority placed on Curve Lake and Hiawatha First Nation. Any projects will be undertaken with cooperation and in consultation with communities that they seek to serve. I think all of these things reflect the fact that I want to build a stronger Peterborough, a more inclusive Peterborough. As I said, with our party platform, you can only give from a position of strength. And if we want to build the strength of this community, then we have to build the strength of the people that live here. Specifically with the Good Samaritan Hands Up Foundation, what I'm seeking to do, and one of the things that breaks my heart, I've lived in this community my whole life. I know people from every walk of life and every single vocation in this community. I know the business community. I know them all well. One of the things that breaks my heart is when I see people that have so much potential that maybe at some point in their life got sidetracked, or maybe they didn't care enough when they were young in school to follow through on their education, and that has now limited their career path and oftentimes has dead-ended it. We are going to eliminate those dead ends. We're going to work with them. If people want to seek to improve themselves, then there will be a board, there will be a fund, and there will be people and businesses there to support them and help them to improve themselves. This is what being a good neighbor is all about. This is how we're going to improve the overall household income. It's how we're going to address homelessness. It's how we're going to address so many of the problems of drug addiction in our community. This is how we're going to overcome these problems. We're going to overcome it together. We're going to overcome it by seeking to embrace the very best of this community, which is its giving spirit, its support for one another. We're going to culminate all of that and bring it together under a common goal, to be good Samaritans, good neighbors, and to support each other. I'm very excited about this. I have great credibility in this area. For those that might seek to dismiss this or diminish it, I point out that I have never missed a fundraising goal that I have ever set. In fact, I have always exceeded them. You see I'm wearing my jersey here today. This was a specific initiative that was undertaken here in Peterborough. Wearing this jersey, or ones like it, I have assisted in the fundraising for communities across Canada of well in excess of $1 million. Locally in this community, in each of the last 3 years, I have raised well in excess of my own salary. I've given more back to the community than I've been paid to represent the community, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do it each and every year that I'm elected, because I believe active representation means giving back. It means doing everything that you can and leveraging all of the ability and, thank you, Pat, leveraging all of the ability and all of the power of your office. And in keeping with that principle, I believe that in my next 4-year term in office, I will build a stronger Peterborough, a safer Peterborough, and a better Peterborough.